Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and welcome to This Week in WoW for the week of September 10th. Heroic week, Mythic Zero week, a bunch of cool stuff to talk about this week. But first, let's shout out Patreon supporters Mario Casillas and Rep Pally Rocks. Thank you guys so much for the support. I appreciate it beyond words. And now, let's head in and talk about what's going on in the game, including the raid coming out this week. So, we'll talk about that last because there's a lot to talk about there. So we have PvP Brawl, Warsong Scramble. There's going to be a lot of people working on Honor and stuff like that, especially because it's the first week. Even people who don't PvP, doing things to get the PvP recipes if they still don't have those. They cost 7,500 Honor. If you don't know that already, you just go to the PvP area at the front of Dornagol around here. And there's a vendor in there that sells recipes for 7,500 Honor. And then you can get your first time craft and get knowledge and stuff doing that. So that's kind of useful there for Warsong Scramble. We also have World Quest event this week. So as long as that doesn't change. So that's what I'm a big fan of World Quest. I always have been. They have finally come full circle back to being like pretty easy and pretty good. They still don't have like the as many of the kill this one strong enemy quests. I used to love those back in BFA. Kill this elite mob quests. I used to like doing those, but they have become a lot easier once again. From a big departure from where Shadowlands where they were just not fun to do at all. Dragonflight was slightly better, and now they are back to being, you can deal with them now. They're not too bad. Even if you don't like them, you can kind of deal with them. And so we're back to that point. That's the weekly quest this week. It'll probably be worth doing. Normally, I think you get like reputation or something for doing it. So if you need your renown tracks filled up and stuff, that could be very helpful for you there. Towards the end of the week, we're gonna have Harvest Festival starting up. This is basically kind of like Thanksgiving, and basically for World of Warcraft. Even though it doesn't, I guess it's not really Thanksgiving. It's more of just like a fall festival, let's say. Obviously, they have a Pilgrim's Bounty for Thanksgiving, but this is like a fall festival, like it's almost fall time, I guess, right? So that'll be coming up later this week as well. Something to do. You'll probably be busy doing other stuff, but it is there if you want to do it. And of course, the biggest thing this week is going to be the raid coming out. So you'll have access to the Raid Finder First Wing, I believe, Normal Raid, Heroic Raid, Mythic Zero Dungeons, and Delves will now be scalable up all the way to level 8. And so let's talk about a little bit about these things. And I think there's a story mode version of the raid. This is not my forte. But if there is a story mode version of the raid, I imagine that comes out at this point as well. So as far as the raid goes, so that's let's just focus on normal and heroic. So the whole raid is open. We have not seen the last boss yet, so we're going to be seeing the last boss. We're going to be seeing a new cutscene or whatever from killing the last boss, most likely. That always happens. That'll happen probably pretty early on in the day. Someone will at least kill it on normal really quickly, and then it'll probably die on heroic fairly quickly as well. So we'll see that. Obviously, if you're into the raid, you'll probably have your raid scheduled for this night as long as your guild can raid on Tuesdays. And yeah, so we'll have that to do. We'll also have Mythic Zero Dungeon. So there is a little bit of miscommunication or misperception here. I see people saying all the time that they think Mythic Plus is going to start. Mythic Plus starts with Mythic opening of the raid, which is next week. So Mythic Plus does not start this week. So that's why we don't have like Mythic Plus affixes or anything like that. That's not really something we need to do anymore, anyways, with the way they changed how Mythic Plus affixes work. But we're not gonna have Mythic Plus. It's just gonna be Mythic Zero with the new Mythic Plus dungeons, right? So we will have Grim Batol, we will have Mistatirna Scythe, we'll have all those, I believe, but we will not have Mythic Plus versions of those. So that is something to consider as well there. When that comes out. So Mythic dungeons, they're not too hard. They're supposed to be equal to like Mythic Plus 8 from the old system. So all the dungeons got kind of rearranged in difficulty. That's what they're kind of supposed to be. I don't know if it actually is that difficult. as they intended it to be, but they're pretty easy. If you're flying through heroics easily, you're probably not gonna have too much trouble in Mythic. It'll be more health on the bosses. You will have to actually dodge some mechanics and stuff like that. I'm not trying to say that you'll be able to not do it without even trying at all, but they are not that difficult for sure. And then we'll also, maybe the most important thing to talk about is the delves. So delves right now are capped at 3. That's because you can actually get gear from these. So doing a tier 8 delve, especially a bountiful delve with a key for the bountiful delves, is going to reward you with pretty strong gear, especially like if it's geared to go into the raid with, right? It's not going to be like your ending gear, but and unless you are a solo player, in which case you can go get some really good gear right now and you're going to be feeling pretty good about yourself, because all the delve system and stuff like that's going to open up, the delve track, all that kind of stuff. Real quick before we get into the delve track, let's talk about the bountiful delve. So if you haven't seen on your map, usually there's some delves that are going to be bountiful. So here's one right here, and it says so Kriegel's Rest. It's a bountiful delve. It usually is lit up. So like a non-lit up delve down here, we have one. It's not lit up. This mine over here, that's just the easy way to tell which one. I think like 4 at a time are lit up, and so that one's there. So if you have these keys, so if you've gotten any of these keys, I have 9 of them right now. Keeper, or these coffer keys, and I have 9. You'll find them in your currency tab, not in your bag. I have 9 of these keys, so I could technically do 9 bountiful delves. I think there's only 4 per day, I want to say, is what I read about that. And so you can go into there and you'll get very good end loot from doing that on a +8. So I want to say, let's expound on that a little bit. To get to a +8, you're currently locked at 3. So you need to do a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, and then you'll unlock an 8. So you have to do 4. Don't do them on bountiful. Do them on regular, right? Do a regular delve 4 times, whatever. Unlock an 8, and then do an 8 on bountiful to get that really good gear. Now, it should be noted that these +8 delves, let's call them +8s, like a key, are not going to be a cakewalk. If you're a very good player, you'll probably get through it pretty easily. Like if you consider yourself a sweaty player or a high-end player, you'll probably get through it easily. If you're kind of casual, but you're looking forward to delves, it might be a little bit more difficult for you. So, pay attention as you're leveling up. 6, okay, 6, it's starting to get a little hard for me. 7, it's getting really hard for me. Okay, 8, I need to be really careful. Maybe I should use potions. Maybe I should use a flask. Whatever you need to do. The thing you want to avoid in delves is dying, okay? Take your time. They are not timed like Mythic Plus. If you are a shaman and you're a casual player, or you're just not very good at solo content as much as group content, take your time. Obviously, you might not want to wait for heroism to be up on every single pull, but that is something you can do if you need to. You can wait for all of your cooldowns. You can do all that kind of stuff. You do not want to die. I can't remember the exact amount of deaths that you're allowed to have, but you can't. After you die a certain amount of times, you won't get the loot at the end. So you want to make sure that you are not dying too much, okay? And the +8s are going to really smack some people in the face. They are not rolled over easy. Like so far, you've only done to 3, and you're probably like, "Oh, these things are super easy." An 8 in this current gear that we're in, so like I'm at 591. It won't be super easy on a +8. It just won't. I'll probably wait for. I don't have to wait long as a rep paladin for my cooldowns, but I'll probably wait for my cooldowns and stuff before I fight anything. Pretty much anything probably in there. I'll probably just wait to at least have my Wake of Ashes up to activate my wings. So be mindful with that. Be careful with that, and good luck with that as well, right? The only thing else I want to mention for this week is today my Retribution Paladin guide will be coming out for season 1. It'll probably come out during maintenance or whatever. So if you are a Rep Paladin viewer and you want to check that out, you most certainly can. Pretty happy with it. It'll be the earliest I ever put one out. Normally I wait till we see some raid results before I make proclamations and stuff. But I've been testing since beta, and we've had so much time before the season starts that I'm pretty confident in it. As always, though, and I mentioned this in the video, if there's anything that needs to be updated or changed, I will just do an update video, a change video, whatever. I don't expect there to be anything major that I have to do for that, but just in case, that is always a possibility. So that'll be coming out as well this week. It'll be a full season 1 guide of everything. So Yeah, I'm super excited myself. I'm looking forward to raid. I'm hoping the servers come up early so I can get those delves done. So I'm gonna be bountiful. I'm gonna be delving to 8, bountiful delving, going straight into normal raid. Hopefully clearing normal raid the first night. It's not too difficult if you're if you're a mythic guild. It shouldn't be too difficult for you to clear normal really quick. At least it wasn't very difficult in the testing. So yeah, that'll be it for this one, guys. Hopefully you're excited as I am. As always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel because that helps me out the most. If you're already a subscriber, I encourage you to check out the Patreon. And other than that, everybody, have a good one.